This is why I love nature. I know you've heard people say they've driven 4 hours just to do a few minute hike. And that's me today. I got off work and drove 4 hours to Oregon to get a good amount of, well, to sneak in a hike for today. So I'm at the Ramona Falls trailhead. I'm going to hike this, to sneak this hike in, so I don't run into a crowd on a Friday or a Saturday here. And then I will continue to hike the other waterfalls that I'm planning on hitting this weekend. But wish me luck. Just wanted to say hello before I started the hike. See you in a few minutes. I got off work at noon, drove 4.5 hours, changed clothes at the trailhead, hiked the hour in 20 minutes. But I tell you what, if that gives me this here, I'll take it every time. This is why I love nature, for moments like this. If you haven't stopped on my channel, check it out. The best is yet to come. Want to see something cool? Check this out. Good evening. So just left Ramona Falls. So I had a blast here. It wasn't too crowded. I think I passed about 20 something people on my way up here on the trail, which made me really feel good about about the time that I got here. So I got off work at noon, drove from Washington 4.5 hours, got to the trailhead, changed clothes, hiked about an hour and 20 minutes, and had a blast at Ramona Falls. I'm so glad I came, because I was contemplating if I was going to come tomorrow or Saturday, but I know with the holidays coming up, and I just pushed towards getting Ramona Falls out the way today, I could really hit the waterfall. It's going to be closer to my hotel when I check in today, and I won't have to drive out, because that's the furthest waterfall out is here. And being that I had to drive this direction on the way up here, it just made sense to just do what I did, and I'm so glad I made that decision. So as far as the hike goes, not too bad of a hike. I think the biggest opportunity is probably the roadways. I probably coming up here, it's pretty much paved the whole way, and then when you get within about a half mile of Ramona Falls, that's when you see the crazy potholes. Because the lanes is pretty much a one lane roadway that's paved, but then the outside of the road on both sides is pretty much coming apart. But I take it because it could be a road like Boulder River Falls, which is probably the worst roadway I've driven on besides the Denford Creek one. So it's probably a tie between the Denford Creek Falls Trail driving there and Boulder River Falls. But I am so amazed with just persevering. How I look at life, as I tell everyone, you only get one. So you want to make sure that you're maximizing every moment. You want to be smart when you're hiking, and you want to make sure that you're getting what you want to get out of it. I knew that going into work at 6:30, my regular time, and getting off at noon, I knew that I had a choice to make. And as I was driving up here doing the 4.5 hours, I was just contemplating my plans, because I always have an A, B, and a C plan when I'm going hiking, no matter what. So I sat back and was jamming for a little while on the drive, and I was just, okay, it's either that I go straight to the hotel, grab a nice dinner, and then wake up early in the morning after breakfast and drive an hour and a half to get to Ramona Falls, or just risk it. The likelihood that the trailhead will be busy around sunset, I figure it was probably a 25% chance. And I drove up here, seeing about 15 cars in the parking lot. I kind of got worried initially until I passed a group of like 12 or 13 people. Then I passed a couple, probably about 3 or 4 couples of twos that I grabbed, and I passed a couple more groups of 4 and 5. And by the time I got to Ramona Falls, technically it was only maybe 5 people up there, and I was able to get some cool shots. I wanted to get probably a few other shots, but I'm honestly tired. I think being tired is probably worse than someone being drunk, I believe. So didn't want to risk it. I figure if I leave the trailhead, let me see here, it is 7:03. I figured if I left the trailhead around, well, I'm probably not gonna get to my car at about 8. If I were to leave around 8 o'clock and then drive another hour or so to get to my hotel and check in, I should be pretty solid, because it don't get dark here until about 9. And I knew prior to me driving here that the sunset wasn't going to occur at Ramona Falls to 8:59. So I knew me getting here just before 4:30, I knew I had at least close to 5 hours of sunlight, and I knew the hike wasn't going to take no more than 3 hours round trip plus my footage. So I figured that I would get to my car around 7:45, 8. It'd be good, and I think I'm on pace for that. So that's why I didn't take any videos on the way up, because I still need to clean out some videos from my Oregon hiking trip a few weeks ago, and I probably only had about 40 minutes of footage that I could capture. Even on this hike back to my car, it's counting down right now. I got about 14 minutes of film time, so I'm not gonna film the whole way down, because I don't think I have enough juice. But again, life is what you make it. Make sure that if you need that release or you need to relax, nature does it for you. Hit a trail and enjoy it. and make the best out of it. And just know too, I was tired. I think driving takes a lot out of you, so I was tired getting up here, and I got worried when I went to go fill up my car about 2 hours in. I contemplated. I'm like, do I really want to hike today? Because I know hiking today would be a bonus. You know, I looked at this as Thursday. I don't want Thursday to be a throwaway day, meaning I didn't want it just to be the drive and then get back and still have sunlight. If it's still sunlight, you hit a trail. But you gotta be smart. You want to be able to hit the trail and get back to your car in time. So that's what I did. I rolled the dice, and it kind of worked out for me. So I'm so blessed. I saw a lot of good views of Mount Hood on the way driving up here from the highway, and then as I got closer and closer to the trail, and a little bit of a obstructed view on the way to Ramona Falls. But all in all, not bad. And if you're looking at me, you think something's different. Yeah, something is different. So last Monday, oh shoot, a deer's in front of me. Let me see if I can get that deer. I'm gonna be quiet. Let me get back at it. I never want to interrupt wildlife on a trail, so I'm gonna be quiet and let the deer do his thing and keep it moving. So I'll always say, when you're on a trail too, be very vigilant. That deer could have been a bear, that deer could have been a moose. It could have been a whole bunch of stuff. So make sure that you're being aware of your surroundings. You're looking left, looking right from time to time, because you could come across what I just saw. I was looking at my phone here, filming, and then looked up. It was a deer in my crosshair. So be careful about that. But yeah, back to what I was saying about the trip here. So I figured that I was gonna be rolling the dice, come to a place I've never gone before, which is to go with nature, and me still knocking out my clusters. But back to my hair, I did cut my hair almost to not quite bald, and I actually cut all my beard off too. So last week Monday, when I was on a business trip, I woke up before I headed to that site, and I figured I'll cut some of my hair off the top. And being that I brought my trimmers instead of my clippers, of course the guards that come with trimmers are not it's not capable to really cut a fro down, because I pretty much had a good fro on my head. So I pretty much just used my trimmer, cut all my hair off. Plus the weather where I was at was scheduled to be 107 to 114 all week, and I normally do the beck chop at least once a year. So I figured that was the best time to do it. So I cut my beard, cut all my hair off. But by the time I headed back to Seattle, flying back there Friday, I pretty much had the hairs back in place. And then over the weekend, leading to this week, pretty much had my 5 o'clock shadow back, and pretty much got everything growing back. So at this point, within probably another week or two, I'll have my fro beard back. It's probably one of the best problems to have. I know you have some guys that wish they can grow a beard, and some that grow a beard may not have it connecting. So it's a blessing in disguise that I'm able to grow everything into place without trying. And I do like that. It felt weird not having hair on my head and on my face. But I'm so glad I cut it off, because like I said, by last week Wednesday, I pretty much had had the grays and stuff pulling back. So I think getting older, the grays just been taking over for me. So on the beard that I cut down, it was still mostly, it was probably, I said salt and pepper. It's pretty much salt and pepper. But now when I cut it down last week Monday, it's mostly grays coming back. So I may look like Santa Claus. But I'm gonna end this video, because I only got about 9 minutes left of film time, and I don't want it to cut off. But if you're gonna hike Ramona Falls, it's mostly even. You have a little bit of elevation, and you do have a river crossing, but they got like a nice tree that you can walk across, and it's very safe to cross. But I gotta think certain parts of the year, the river probably flows more than it is right now, because you can see that most of the river is dried up, but it has a little bit of flow. So just be mindful of that. But as always, everyone, thank you so much for the support on this channel, whether it's on YouTube or whether it's on TikTok. Soundscapes and Dreamscapes is my channel on both platforms. I have 4,002 followers on YouTube channel, and I'm approaching 12,000 followers on TikTok. Thank you for all that you do, and depending on what time I get to my hotel, so I'm probably gonna, when I get to the hotel, I'm probably gonna take a shower. I'll probably grab food on the way, take a shower, and then if it's not too crazy, I'll go live. It'll probably be around 9-10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time though. But I'm gonna see what I can do. God bless everyone. Again, thank you for all your support. Have a good one.